start from the soul that you said. The soul.
So how somebody acts is not how they want to act. If they just do not care how their soul goes, like they just let it take control of them, and it gets easily angry. Once you take control of that, you know when to get angry and when to hold it in, and when you know it's inappropriate or it's not. So your mind remembers that and tries to control it. You still have a long way of controlling it.
So how our brain use it, how you can, that's a skill. That needs practice, right? It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
So how we can work on it to control our brain, to control our attitude, or all the reactions, because sometimes when you react someone, maybe it's going to be from consciousness or unconsciousness. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's how you knew about it, and there's a part that you don't know about it. So once you react, usually when you react to something, it doesn't have anything to do with all your practice, all the moral sense that they just teach it to you.
Yes.
Right?
Because once you learn it, like let's say how a kindergartner acts, they have not controlled it. So they get angry or frustrated when you do something not even like that. They have not controlled it. Their soul is still wild. They still need to mold it around, put it in the right shape, and keep it like that.
Why we need to mold it around? Why we need to just educate them and train them and practice on it? What do you think? Why?
It's because it will ruin your whole life if you just, like a bullet, if you just let it take control of you. There's only one part of you in there, just one dark part of you that's not almost barely alive. It's just almost dead.
Okay.
And that's what would happen, like a bully acts. They want to, like, make everybody miserable so they can be miserable. So the misery that they have can spread to other people, stealing something from somebody when they know they're...
So what's wrong with their soul then?
They don't want to mold it around. There's one part of your body that you have to mold right away, just like throw that piece off. What that piece is evil. So once it becomes to control you, so once you like to steal stuff, it's going to get more bigger and bigger until it can eat off it. It's going to slowly start to eat off it.
Okay.
And the more evil things you do or bad things you do, it's going to eat off more and more of it.
So what is your determination? How you can determine what is the measure, what is the thing that you can recognize something is bad, something is good? How you can determine that? How you can, separate them?
So, how do you know if
the
somebody...
good stuff, how they supposed to be, and the bad stuff, how they supposed to be, they call it bad, and how it's supposed to be to call it good thing.
So, you mean yin and yang? That's like that's one of the closest things. So yin and yang is like this. So have you ever seen a circle thing that one side is like black and the other side is that? One is evil, one is good. And they're both spinning around. If you get the good big enough, it will spin around it and like take it out. But it still is going to be there. It's going to stay there, and you have to do not get it back. So how to tell somebody bad or good. So how to do that is or stretched out. So when they breathe like this, or they really feel uncomfortable being around people, they have not still molded it around more. Like they have to just
So
get.
what is bothering them?
So what is bothering them is past experiences. It gets stuck in the mold. So all your pieces of memory go right into that mold of making yourself. So once that happens, the bad memories go on it, and you slowly mold it into something that is just not in the piece that you want, or you don't want it. If you just throw it away, well, that you're gonna be even more miserable, because then your mind is gonna throw all the bad things you've done away, all the sins that you've done away in your mind. So all the crimes that you did, or mean stuff that you did, all that crimes or something, or all the sins you did, you're acting like it's not even yours. You just give it to somebody else. No, you have to take responsibility for that. So once you do not take responsibility for that, then the mold, once it's done popping out, well, you have to make sure it's molded perfect way, the way how you want it to be.
So what you say is, when you have done something bad, the first step is you admit it, that you have done it.
Yes.
You accept that.
And take the responsibility of the karma and
So
everything.
no matter how bad it is, you have to take whatever you have done, and whatever the consequences is, you have to take that responsibility and be brave enough to face in it, right?
Yes.
To face in it and handle that situation. If something really bad, it's all about yourself. Because we have a responsibility to be nice to ourselves also. It's not just about people that we are communicating with. The first communication comes from our soul, how we treat ourselves,
Yes.
how we respect our body, our soul, and how we get to know ourselves and connect with our own inner soul.
Yes.
So even sometimes you're going to be mean to yourself.
You don't realize it. If you're spoiling on somebody, you're still making your life miserable and miserable. Because once you get out of college, you were big and popular and scary. Now you're out in the wild. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares like what you're doing. So all the bad things that you've done, they're going to make you more and more miserable once you get out in the city by yourself. Because all the bad things that you did, you can't do it in public and everybody's going to like call 911 or call the police, yeah? So mostly you have to face your fear. You have to like apologize and
try to fix it. If you just harm someone so bad emotionally or physically, just being sorry doesn't make sense, right? You have to do something and act something, in fact, to just truly show how you regret that.
Yes.
So that was a good conversation, actually.
And one more thing is, once you realize, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. There's more stuff I'm going to mention to you later. So once you're molding around that clay of your soul, there's layers that you begin to
What did you use? Clay of your soul?
Yeah.
Where did you get that from? I like that.
It came from my mind.
Clay of your soul. Wow.
So there's layers of layers of layers. But in the center, there's one important layer of all. It's in there.
What is it?
That layer is, I'm going to tell you tomorrow.
To be continued. Okay. So it was a nice conversation, actually. Just promise me you are going to just keep talking every single night for 10 minutes like this together. Okay? Okay. Say good night now.
Good night.